Hey everyone, this is Daniel O'Connor with the Bryant O'Connor Law Firm. Today I've got a kind of abstract question, and that is, what is estate planning? And this question that could have a lot of different answers, but I think it's more than any single document, and I'm ultimately going to give my best answer at the end of this video, but I want to ask a few rhetorical questions before I get there. So is estate planning just naming who gets your stuff? I think a lot of people think of estate planning as who gets your stuff. And I would say that's important, but not everything. Is estate planning determining who makes healthcare decisions for you? Or is it deciding whether you're going to be kept on life support if you're in an irreversible, deadly situation where you become what they call a vegetable? Is that it? That's important, but that's not it. How about making a power of attorney? That's certainly an important thing to do, but that's not all there is to estate planning. Is it making a will? I think that's probably the most common document people associate with estate planning, and I love wills, deal with wills every day. That's not everything. Is estate planning avoiding probate? You hear me talk about that a lot. And a lot of people try that. Is that what estate planning is? I don't think so. Is estate planning saving property from the cost of nursing homes or Medicaid recovery? I've had a number of people who I think seem to think that's what estate planning was. And that's a subject that's very important to a lot of people, and it's something we can address with you and probably help you. But that's not the only reason you would estate plan. Is estate planning just for rich people? I mean, I've actually heard people say you don't really need to do anything unless you have more than $11 million. $11 million is sort of the threshold of how much you can give away before you have any estate taxes. So estate planning is super important for rich people, or people that have that kind of net worth. And there are planning things they can do to reduce their estate planning taxes, their estate taxes and gift taxes. But if you're someone that only has $200,000, each of your dollars is just as important as someone who's got $12 million. So you definitely want to plan in a way that those dollars are preserved. So estate planning is certainly not just for rich people. Is it just about naming guardians for kids? Again, that's a super important element. We make kids protection plans specifically on that issue. But that's the only thing you're worried about. You're probably missing something. Where's the money going to come from to take care of those? And that's where life insurance might come in. Is estate planning for old people? I think a lot of people think they just ought to wait till they're close to death to do estate planning. But the problem is you don't know when you're going to die. And we probate the estates of people in their 20s and 30s and 40s every year. So we know firsthand that it's not just for old people, young people who often don't think estate planning is for them, make things much more difficult for somebody by not doing it. Is estate planning something that is just for business owners? Of course not. Estate planning is essential for business owners in order to keep their business going in a fluid way and preserve wealth for their families, but it can be for all kinds of people. So this is sort of the long definition of estate planning, and I hadn't figured out how to put it in one sentence, but I'm going to try to say it in a few. To me, estate planning is thinking through what assets you have, not just your financial assets, your spiritual and your assets, your traditions and things like that, and getting those organized in a way and that it's going to benefit you while you're alive and your purpose, doing this in a purposeful way, not just for wealth, but for the things that matter to you, and in planning for how those would be managed if you became incapacitated, unable to manage them, or if you died and you pass the torch to the next generation. That's really kind of the crux of estate planning. And it's not about money or property. At the end of the day, it's about people, and how are people going to be taken care of, or your missions, or whatever it is that's important to you, or you prioritize, or some of both. Estate planning is not just about documents, but it's about people having their stuff organized, their property, their money, everything organized and inventoried in a way with the right documents in place. I said it's not about documents, but it's about having the right documents in place, which I view documents as tools to get to the end. So what we care about is not what document you have, but what's the end result that's likely to occur as a result of us preparing these documents and organizing it in a fluid plan that works together. It's going to maximize the benefit to you and your missions and purposes and that of your loved ones. This is why it's important to use a lawyer who's not trying to sell you one document or another. There's a lot of fancy documents out there, but and we try to make some of those, but it's not about this document or that. It's about your end goal and how do we get you there. That's why it's important when you're meeting with a lawyer for the first time. We have a lot of people come in saying, I need to make a will. And that's fine. That's a good place to start. But what I like to do is take a step back and get clear on what your objectives are, help you organize what assets you have so you can think through those, and then let me educate you about what the end results could be in different situations. And this is what we call a family wealth planning session. Sometimes we call it a legacy planning session. But it's really a chance to step back and get clear on a few things, and then giving you all the options so that you can make an educated choice about what's right for your life. Estate planning is not just about death, it's about your own life. And then it's about the lives of the people who you leave behind. So, and it's a living process. It's not a one and done thing. You don't just go to the doctor to fix your broken arm and then the rest of your life you never go back to the doctor. You have to do all kinds of things to keep your body healthy. And estate planning, some of it's with your lawyer, some of it's with your financial planner, some of it's with your accounting. All these things work together to keep your life organized, keep your assets organized, make sure nothing gets lost. I encourage people to get on a maintenance plan with their lawyer so that they're regularly meet with them and ensure that everything, there's no changes in the law, no changes in your life have affected what you need to do. If you fail to do this, your plan might not work. So estate planning is a whole process, and it's almost a way of life. I think incorporating estate planning as part of your life, just like you would exercise or eating healthy, is very important. And frankly, all the things that I named above that estate planning is not by itself, all those things actually are part of estate planning. So those are all things you can do through estate planning, and all of those can be very important. Naming guardians for your children, ensuring that you don't leave $1 million life policy to an 18-year-old just with no strings attached, ensuring that you avoid disputes between your family, ensuring you don't pay any estate taxes. If you're concerned about the cost of nursing care, analyzing your finances in a way that you can maximize the money you get to keep and the way that your nursing care is paid for. Your well-being is at stake, your kids' lives are at stake, and potentially future generations. And you can exercise the right amount of control and purpose to make sure that the end result is what you want. You can't control everything. Death is inevitable, but you can control, as Kirby Smart says, control what you can control. And whether you plan or not, and whether you're thoughtful about those things, is something you can control. So if you're a Georgia resident and you want to kind of get clear on what an estate plan might look like for you, I would encourage you to schedule a family wealth planning session with me or my wife, Reza, who's my partner in my law firm. And we would be happy to help you get clear on a few of these things and help you design a plan that fits your life and your purpose. If you're not in our area or you've got another lawyer, I'd encourage you to walk through that process with them.